Hello, Monrovia. It's your host here, Salina. I love the fall. It reminds me of a nickname that I had growing up, Pumpkin. So you bet I love this time of year when the pumpkins take over. Pumpkin mania, code orange, #pumpkin. Give a pumpkin a home. I don't think you understand how much I love pumpkins. Anyhow, you're probably thinking, thank goodness I'm on that side of the screen. What is a porch without a pumpkin? Let's take a look at some of the best decorated Monrovia homes this season. It's pretty impressive how Monrovians go way out to deck out their lawns and their porches for fall harvest and Halloween. From the different styles, the themes, and the detail. I don't know what you like to do this time of the year, but one of my favorite things to do is to drive around and just look at some of these great lawns and decorations. It just makes an evening stroll much more entertaining. Thank you, Monrovia, for all your enthusiasm. Boy, have I got a challenge for you. This show's challenge is put on a costume and have some fun. I mean, don't be a party pooper. Get that costume out of the closet. You know, the one that you've had in there for years. Or DIY. Just do it. It'll be fun. Send us your pics of your challenge to thegemwithselina@gmail.com. So stay tuned. We have haunting tales next. But first, a trick for you. Watch me disappear. There are many things that go on in this town of Monrovia. Some that you may not even know about. But we have Nolan Melendez here who lives to tell the tale of the hauntings of Monrovia High School. Welcome, Nolan.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing quite all right. I'm really excited to hear about some of the sightings or stories that you're about to share that have been going on at Monrovia High School.
People have seen him in the auditorium of the school. People have seen him in the bell tower. Most people will say that it's actually a lady. But personally, I've seen figures and lights that aren't really like supposed to be there.
Do you think ghosts are real?
Yeah, I believe in it. I don't like to mess with them, but I believe in it.
And did you believe in them before you went to Monrovia High School?
Once I came to Monrovia and experienced the things like in person, it definitely confirmed it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's your first reaction when you saw something happened, an apparition or what have you, at the high school? What was your first reaction?
I freaked out internally, but since I was with other people, I decided to just sort of play it cool, walk off. I was like, guys, let's just get out of here.
Can you give us a little bit more of a background of the experiences, the encounters that you've had?
Yeah, absolutely. There was this one night after a band practice, me and actually a couple of my friends, we go and we're going to the main hall. The auditorium was open. So we went in there and the lights were on, and we went on there and we were sitting on the stage just talking. And I was waiting for my ride to get there, but out of the corner of my eye, I see this sort of this blur of light. I would say a yellowish light that just sort of hovered across the stage, not the stage, but the seats in the back row. And I'm not even sure if my friends saw it, but personally, I got the chills from it, and I felt that there was somebody else in there than us. It's if you're in a room and somebody walks in the door,
right,
and you sort of feel their presence there,
right,
that's what I felt there.
Right. So I hear you have some pictures.
Yeah, I do. I went to the high school and I got some campus pictures of actually the areas that a lot of people have reported seeing the lady.
Wow.
Here is actually the bell tower, It's a pretty old wooden like area, and you can see it's pretty high up.
Wow.
It's one of the tallest points in the high school.
Uh-huh.
And as you can see here, it's actually metal barred off.
Right. Nobody's going to be able to get through those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the flip side, what's your favorite thing about fall?
In fall, gosh, I really love the pumpkin spiced foods and stuff.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, what's your favorite?
I'd say a pumpkin spice latte.
All right. We'll have to go ahead and end it on that note. Thank you so much, Nolan, for joining us. I really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful that we have the heads up of what's going on over there at Monrovia High School. Okay, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, Monrovia. I am so excited to introduce to you a Monrovian who's been born and raised here and offers her home and just has so much creativity and enthusiasm for the community. Everyone, please welcome Vicky Luiten. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, nice to see you
Nice
again.
to see you too. So, okay, first of all, I have to point out the cool thing that I'm seeing here. It's just distracting, but in a good way. Your earrings. Tell me about your earrings.
These are my scary skulls. It sort of goes along with my whole love for Halloween.
Yeah.
Every year I pull them out and put them on, and if nothing else, I get a few laughs from people.
Yeah.
But it's particularly funny when I forget that I have them on. If I'm wearing a business suit or something and I go to the office and people start laughing at me, I'm like, why are you laughing? And then I'm reminded, yeah, it's Halloween time, and that's what I love about it. It's just fun.
Well, that's just beautiful because I was fascinated by you, and this is our spooktacular show, by the way.
Spectacular.
And I just was very much excited to have you here because of your love for Halloween, but just not the holiday itself. Can you tell Monrovia why you have this affinity, why you have this enthusiasm for this time of the year?
Sure. Halloween to me is just, I absolutely would have to say it's probably my favorite holiday. It is just the one time of year when you can be who you want, have fun, and it's not a holiday that puts a lot of pressure on people to do things a certain way. You can just laugh and have fun.
Right.
And I've enjoyed it as far back as I can remember as a little kid, from trick-or-treating around the neighborhood.
Right.
Dressing up at school events. And then as we got older, we started having some fun with it to where we would provide entertainment for kids at our house, and then it just grew from there. But I just love it. And then my husband, after we got married, he too got into it, and we both just kept the tradition going.
Right.
And it's just bringing those memories to kids in the neighborhood.
Well, I mean, the memories as a child, I mean, you said trick-or-treating and dressing up, but you were doing more than that,
Yeah.
Vicky. You were like helping out local churches and creating like these setups and haunted house mazes or what have you. I mean, share with the community some of the fun things that you do. And it's not just, for yourself. It's really for others as well.
It is for others. Yeah, it started, I would have to say it probably goes back to something that my father did when we were really young. There was a lamp post that you had to walk past in order to go to the front door for the trick-or-treaters, and it was covered with ivy. And so we would cover the lamp post, the actual lamp, and then the ivy with sheets, so it looked like a ghost.
Yeah.
And across from that was a window to the living room that had curtains. So my father rigged up, and laughing now, thinking of how archaic the equipment was then, an audio system where he could sit behind the curtain and his voice would come out where the ghost was. But he could see through the curtains as to who the kids were trick-or-treating. So needless to say, he had fun with that. He would, see a little child dressed as a ballerina or something, and he would comment on the costume, or another ghost, and the kids were just mesmerized by it. And I think back, and I think that's where the fun of putting on the show started.
Right.
And then from there, I have a large family. I'm the youngest of 8, and my twin brother and I, and then the brother, his name is Rick, and then the next brother, John, who's closest in age. The 3 of us got together, and we started building a haunted house in our backyard. It started with just tarp walls. We had a patio that was a covered patio, but we just made the walls and tunnels out of tarps and plastic and that kind of thing.
Now, would you charge for those events?
I don't think we did initially, and then we started charging, I think, 15 cents.
Wow.
And we would actually have a line of kids to come through, and it was pretty gory. We would have, the classic table with the raw bone leg. We'd go down to the local butcher shop and ask them for any bones that they had.
You would get real bones?
Yeah,
Wow.
that kind of thing. And then we had One of my brothers was into reptiles and still is, my twin brother. And so we would always have some sort of display of a snake, obviously not a venomous snake. And we would keep it very safe for the kids. And then we had those of us that would work it that were not in costume were there to make sure that nobody would trip over anything, you know, and kind of run through it. And then there was a couple of people in the neighborhood would jump in and help us as well. In fact, one of those gals, she today, it was probably 40 years ago when we were noticed doing that event. Today, she still helps us with the haunted houses that we do now at our house.
You were captured in a newspaper. How old were you when you did that Halloween
I want to
event?
guess maybe 10, 10 or 11.
And you were doing this for...
We moved into our home 23 years ago now. And we've, I think all but 2 years have put some sort of, haunt together.
Well, I'm excited because Monrovia, we are going to actually talk about this special arrangement up in the foothills that Vicky's referring to, her home. But, let's go back to the clip really quick because I thought that you had mentioned that newspaper clipping was also highlighting something that you had done for a local charity or some kind of fundraising.
We did, yeah. All of the money that we raised, our 15 cents entrance fee, went to a group that was connected to the church, the Immaculate Conception Church. That was the local church.
Okay.
We all went to school there as well. All the kids in our family
Oh,
went
okay.
there. Yeah, so
okay.
That was part
well,
of the
that
connection
is
there, so.
that's really neat. So
Yeah.
you were quite
Yeah.
the businesswoman at 10
So.
years old.
No, and I don't think there was any intention to look at it as a business thing. It was purely, let's just have fun with this. And
That's right.
It was fun.
Speaking of that, I just love your spirit. I just love your energy. So where do you get this enthusiasm and this creativity, this creative energy from?
Just, I don't know, just having the memories created every year, I think just made us want to do it again and again. And then the more creative you get. And then when you host something where you invite others to do it, watching their enthusiasm really gets you to...
So really building connection and bringing people together. I mean, it's such a family tradition that you're keeping up, but that you're also expanding and including like the community in that. And I love the fact that you're doing that, building those relationships. Well, I can't wait to meet the neighborhood and all those that are involved in this big festivity. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And we'll be right back with the neighborhood of Alta Vista. Welcome back to the Gem with Salina. There's so many treats that Monrovia has to offer, and I'm sitting with a very special group from Alta Vista in the foothills of Monrovia. Vicky, as you guys have already seen in our interview earlier, has brought together these people that are sitting here. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. Vicky, you want to just go ahead and introduce yourself and move on to your left?
I'm Vicky Luiten. I'm a neighbor resident in longtime Monrovian and live on Alta Vista.
I'm Johnny Gonzalez, lived all my life in Monrovia.
Wow.
And
I'm Rose. I live in Monrovia too, and I'm the niece.
To Vicky,
Vicky
and Johnny.
and Rick.
Oh, and Rick. Okay, let's move to Rick really quick. How are you related?
I'm Vicky's twin. We grew up in Monrovia.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, and we started the Halloween tradition way back 40-something years ago.
Awesome.
I'm Rena Degado. I'm a resident of Monrovia, and I live right at the corner of Hillcrest, and I'm neighbors and good friends with John and Vicky and everyone that's here.
I'm so glad that we're all here together. I cannot wait to share with the community what you guys do every year. And it's just extravagant. The details, the features, the history, the culture, it's just amazing. So who wants to start? I mean, why do we do this? Why do you all do this?
I'll
And
start.
what keeps you doing it every year? How long has this been going on?
well, we lived in the house 23 years. And when Vicki and I first moved in, it was just her and I doing it. Just a few decorations, a few kids, 5 or 10. The street's pretty dark.
Wow.
So a couple of years goes by, same, few kids. I don't even think I had music out there, just a few lights, few stuffed ghouls out there.
Little fog machine.
But then I walked down to Hillcrest, and it's just two
Right.
houses away.
Right.
Oh, here's the kids down here. All the kids are down here. So I go, okay. So I came back, and I put a strobe light overhanging the sidewalk facing down the Hillcrest to attract the attention. And then more kids came, and it,
More kids came.
yeah, more kids came.
To the point where it's 1,500 to 2,000 people on
Yes.
Halloween
Oh,
night.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is community effort. This is a teamwork effort. You know, you guys share and work together, and it's for the good of the community. But what's your role? I'm wondering what your role is with
I'm
the
one
event.
of the ghouls.
Okay.
So I usually am at the front when they first come in. So when they come around the corner, they turn and they see me. And they have to look up to see me standing there.
Okay, so I heard there's another ghoul. She might be like the golden ghoul. Who's that in the group?
That's Rose. Rose is our star ghoul.
Yeah?
She has this so dialed in, it scares me.
Thank you so much for all that you do. You guys are up and running this year, right?
Yep.
You guys will be
Yep. Yes.
operating this year.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, go ahead and swing on by Alta Vista near Hillcrest and meet these wonderful Monrovians, your neighbors. And I just wish you guys a very ghoulish and creepy but festive and happy Halloween. And just take care. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back with a creative piece on Dia de los Muertos. Welcome back. We have something really special that we're going to do right now. We have Rena Degado, who's going to show us a little bit about Dia de los Muertos and all that is entailed in this beautiful occasion. Hi, Rena.
Hi, thanks for having me
Yes.
here. Yes, and so just so you know, this is my multicultural, cross-cultural interpretation of what Dia de los Muertos means, Day of the Dead. It is an ancient holiday that goes and is celebrated also as All Saints Day and All Souls Day. But it's become extremely popular now, and we see many of the different skeletons. I don't know where they went, but we see many of the skeletons that are painted in the Dia de los Muertos tradition. So what does it mean? To the Latino community, what it is a remembrance, a celebration, and a dedication to our loved ones that have passed, our dearly departed. And so there's a lot of different symbolism that is used, that people that are making an ofrenda. So someone would go and on this special day, they would try to do something artistic that reflected the essence of the relationship of their loved ones, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, even children's, things that they loved while they were here on the earthly plane. Some of those things are reflected by the different symbolic things that are out here. For example, earth is also represented by food. So here we have the traditional pan dulce.
Okay.
And so this is something that we're hoping that would be sweet
Uh-huh.
and reflect the essence of some of their earthly delights. The other thing that's very important is, of course, the skeleton. This is a traditional piece where we show a skeleton that is perhaps dancing or moving around. Of course, it's important to bring out the pictures of your loved ones that have passed away. And Salina, I have to say that when I wasn't raised with this particular celebration, however, in 2007, right about the time it started to become more available, become more different events were going on in Los Angeles. In 2007, I lost my mother. And so this was a way for me to honor her passing, to deal with my grief in an artistic way, in a way that reflected our culture. And so one of the things that you do when you build the altar is you go ahead and you put out their pictures, preferably a picture that they liked of themselves, not so much a picture that maybe you liked as much, but either way, it's fine. Back to the other elements that you might be showing, again, for the earth, you would have maybe some dried corn.
Okay.
You would have flowers, and you would also have perhaps something like this, which is a cat, which was painted in Oaxaca. Of course, you would have some religious symbols like the Virgin Mary or a cross, and you would burn some sage or some gopal.
Well, this is a really special tradition that's in certain parts of Mexico and Central America, but that has become very popular or common here in the United States. And I agree with you. It is such a nice a reason to stop and remember your loved ones and their lives and to honor them. It's such a beautiful family tradition. I'm so glad that you were able to show the community, you know, what else happens around this time. And Dia de los Muertos, it takes place on November 1st?
Right. So All Saints Day is November 1st. All Souls Day is November 2nd. And if people would like to experience something that is held here locally, Live Oak Memorial Cemetery has a Dia de los Muertos event, which is amazing. So you might want to go and check that out. People do go there and also dress up and celebrate at the gravesite, Aztec dancers, that kind of thing.
Do you have an altar up, if you don't mind me asking, do you have an altar up at your house?
Yes, I do. And I also make it part of the Halloween display.
Oh, wow.
And so it's much larger. Of course, it's elevated. And it's interesting that I get so many people that are curious about it. People from all cultures are very curious about what is the meaning behind it.
Rena, thank you so much for taking time out and sharing these sentimental and beautiful things from your home and your heart to Monrovia. I really do appreciate you being here.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. That's our show, folks. I just want to thank everybody who was here today, all my guests. But before we go, let's take a moment and hear a little bit from the Monrovia Fire Department on community safety.
So there's three things I think are really important. Stay together, stay illuminated, and have a plan. So it's important that we stay together, be with the group at all times, don't go out by yourself. Stay illuminated, make sure you have a light, something on you. It's going to be dark, so make sure that we have something so other people can see you and you can see where you're going. And then have a plan. If you for some reason do get separated, make sure that you have a plan with your kids, with your friends, to get back to the same area. Have a mutual meeting point that you can all meet up at.
All right, dress up and have some fun. Till next time, take care and be safe. Boo.